room. I don't know if it's men in general, but
we are watching.
you're in the same room with them, or you're in their vicinity, you're hanging out. Every morning
Real Pod with Victoria, and I don't know her last name. So.
Oh, I loved hanging out with you for the past 8 hours. And I'm like, we didn't hang out. We were asleep. He's like, I was with you all night. I'm like, but I wasn't conscious. We didn't hang out. We just disagree on that. So I said, okay, can there be like 2 nights a week where we look at our calendars and agree, like, okay, these are the nights where at 8 p.m., like, phone's going to go away, and then we get to hang out for the night. And so that's kind of where we netted out. My family got into a debate about something. It went from a light disagreement of stances to more serious, emotional about their different opinions. And I'm usually the person that's like, hey, you guys, let's not talk about this at dinner. You guys can talk about this later. Let's enjoy dinner. And as this argument was happening and getting more intense, I thought to myself, there's 6 people at this table. Anyone could chime in and say, hey, let's not talk about this now. No one's doing it. Why am I the one that's going to do it? Why is everyone looking at me to do it? You know what I want to do? I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to the bathroom, fix my hair, put on my lip gloss, maybe text a friend, avoid that high stress situation. And by the time I got back, the argument was still going. And the 3 other people there were sitting in silence. I thought to myself, Victoria, no, you cannot, because this is bystander energy. We want to just sit here and we want to let other people have their thing. Because guess what? If I do chime in and I say, hey, let's not talk about this here. And now someone could say to me, oh, Victoria, you're always trying to control the situation. Oh, you're just saying that because you agree with this person. And it's like, now I'm involved. I don't know if you guys have seen that new trend on TikTok that's like, all that work and where did it get me? And it's about putting time, effort, and energy into something and then not getting anything from it. And I actually saw this girl posted a TikTok that said, playing sports my entire life for it to end on one random Saturday night. And then the sound goes, all that work and where did it get me? It's a funny joke. Of course, it's gotten every athlete so many things because of the learning lessons and the experiences that we've had. I'm closer now to this new part of my life where I'm this working, entrepreneurial adult woman and farther from this college volleyball player. And it's just part of life. So I'm not super sad about it. It's like one of those cheesy quotes. Don't be sad that it's over. Smile because it happened. Am I taking it too personally? Am I overreacting? Like, actually taking the time to fully assess a situation, understand your role in it, give people the benefit of the doubt, and then think about how you want to show up in the conversation.
These are all shorts at the minute.
Never react until 1. I have thought about their why. 2. It's not about me. 3. Empathize and understand. 4. Use sheer love to dissolve all. And 5. Remember that being right never helps. I can't tell you how game-changing it's been for me to pause and do all of that work to then show up the best way that I can in even the tough situations. It honestly makes me more mentally strong. I feel wiser, and I just feel like no situation is worthy of panic. It used to be like, yeah, I'd love to get a coffee, or like every time I met someone, I'd be like, we should get together. And I've stopped saying that because I don't want to get together. I don't have time to see you. And if I did, I don't want to spend my hour talking to someone who's like not in my tier 1, because I've been really protective of my time. And I don't know if that's something that's just coming with getting older or getting busier with work. But I've been kind of viewing every decision as, is it a hell yes? Because if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. It's my philosophy these days.
Oh.
Every time I met someone, I'd be like, we should get together. And I've stopped saying that because I don't want to get together. I don't have time to see you. And if I did, I don't want to spend my hour talking to someone who's like not in my tier 1, because I'm usually the person that's like, hey, you guys, let's not talk about this at dinner. You guys can talk about this later. Let's enjoy dinner. And as
I guess it's a combination of the shorts we just watched.
I thought to myself, why is everyone looking at me to do it? You know what I want to do? I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to the bathroom, fix my hair, put on my lip gloss, maybe text a friend, avoid that high stress situation. And by the time I got back, the argument was still going. And the 3 other people there were sitting in silence. I thought to myself, Victoria, I can't tell you how game-changing it's been for me to and do all of that work to then show up the best way that I can in even the tough situations. It honestly makes me more mentally strong. I feel wiser, and I just feel like no situation is worthy of panic. At GiveGaff, we're committed to no mid-com.
Right, looks like we're watching a proper podcast now.
I'm bringing you a chaotic life update because I felt like I was due for one. It is feeling like life is a little chaotic right now with all the travel and everything going on. And when I was trying to think about what to say and talk about for this solo episode, I had like so many different ideas. And every time I tried to choose one and then like make it be 30 to 40 minutes, I was like, wait, but I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do a chaotic life update. So strap in, folks. Here we go. First thing I want to talk about is just the craziness of my schedule right now. And I'm sure some of you can relate. It's like the year has picked up and we are now in full swing. We're out of the holiday break. It's no longer January. We're almost into March, which is crazy. Life is just back to the beat of the drum. The thing that I'm struggling with is I've tried to be very intentional about how I'm spending my time. And I don't know if that's something that's just coming with getting older or getting busier with is making this cut anymore, which was really weird for me. And I don't know if you guys have seen that new trend on TikTok that's like, all that work and where did it get me? And it's like about putting time, effort, and energy into something and then not getting anything from it. And I actually saw this girl posted a TikTok that said playing sports my entire life for it to end on one random Saturday night. And then the sound goes, all that work and where did it get me? And like, it's funny. It's a funny joke. Of course, it's gotten every athlete so many things because of the learning lessons and the experiences that we've had. I guess I've just been really feeling more so like I'm closer now to this new part of my life where I'm this working entrepreneurial adult woman and farther from this college volleyball player. And, it's just part of life. So I'm not super feel like no situation is worthy of panic. So to sum this up, a big thing that's been helping me a lot in my life is this pause, taking the breaths, taking the beat, whether it's 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an entire day, an entire week before reacting to something. And the way you can let someone know about this, and I actually was in like a major situation, issue, disagreement, argument with someone last year. And this person was like sending me all these texts, trying to call me, like really wanted to talk about this thing. I was not in the place to talk about it because I was still feeling a lot of emotions. I was feeling lots of anger or lots of sadness or lots of disappointment or lots of any emotion. You're not thinking clearly because that ego voice is overpowering you to be angry or to be sad. So I had to say to this person, I'm not ready to talk. I love you. I need time. And I don't assume their sexuality. I say, are you dating anyone? Or do you have a partner? I totally agree with you. When I ask my niece and nephew, I'm always very cautious about how I word it because I don't want them to ever think I'm like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? Always I'm like, do you like anybody? Yeah. How are you feeling about this? That's why I'm like, I'm supposed to be a mom. Have you dated a woman? Yeah. I don't know if it would be dating. I've definitely been with women. Love that. Yeah, I've just always been attracted to people's energy. I've dated so many different men, and then I remember at one point I was so curious because I really did feel attracted to women. Women are so hot. I think every female is a little. You can't not be. I agree. I see myself at the end with a man. I don't know what I am. Am I bi? Am I just attracted to energy? Is there a word for that? Rochelle. She's glowing and living her best life. Yes, and she never ever thought she was gay. Yeah, and she is a good example of that. And I have been in their presence. Their relationship is what I would dream up on a manifest for. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. I do get to that existential point of, so are we doing this all to one day die? I saw a TikTok that this girl was like, think about 100 years from now. It's 2124. No one will know who you are. All the things that you worked so hard for, somebody else is going to be living in your house. The pictures of you are gone. Nobody cares anymore. It's 100 years ago. So what are you doing worrying about certain things when that's like the reality? Right. And I'm like, damn! I have friends that get Botox, filler. Yeah. It's funny, my friends feel like they can't really tell me about it. I feel bad that people have a view of me that I'm like, how could you do that? You're beautiful the way you are. Well, because then you could get down to the nitty gritty of like, well, then do we even color our hair? Should we not be wearing makeup? You ever look in the mirror and you're like, oh my god, one eye is higher than the other? I don't see it in you though. I would only see it in me. What I learned is if you actually have a symmetrical face that doesn't look right, your face does have to be. One of my favorite quotes about eyebrows is they should be sisters, not twins. I've worked so much on my body dysmorphia and done a lot of healing around my body, but now it's my face that I haven't paid attention to. So I grew up with OCD around symmetry. So if you touch this shoulder, I'd want to touch this shoulder for it to be even. I would want to wear the same amount of layers on the bottom as I did on top. I would want my breath in to be the same length that it was on, and I would count. Oh my god. And so once I discovered Botox for symmetry in my face, now I need to work on this part.
Bit weird, but okay.
I had a friend who was always dating guys, and then all of a sudden now in a serious relationship with a girl.
Yeah, I love that we live in a time where hopefully they're running in the right circles. It's great. Let me meet your partner and not make this a whole thing. People will ask me all the time, like, do you have Botox? And I will always commit to being honest, but I can't say for the rest of my life I might never get it. Like, I don't know. Women are under so much pressure to look a certain way. Like, you just can't know till you're there, and you can only help but sympathize with women who feel the pressure to tweak. Yeah, and I will need to constantly have an honest conversation with myself about why I'm doing it, and I know that sometimes I have done it too much. I started doing too much because I wanted to look a certain way, and I was like, okay, that's where it's unhealthy. I obviously will always get Botox because I love that it makes me look like I am full of sleep. I look so refreshed after, but I do realize also that's probably because I've been conditioned to think a certain way that I need to look young. Women are so hot. I think every female is a little fat. You can't not be. Have you dated a woman? Yeah. I grew up with OCD around symmetry, so if you touch
Oh, it's combination part again.
shoulder for it to be even. And so once I discovered for symmetry in my face, now I need to work on. I feel bad that people have a view of me that I'm like, how could you do that? You're beautiful the way you are. Well, because then you could get down to the nitty gritty of like, well, then do we even color our hair? Should we not be wearing love Botox? That it makes me pull my sleeve. I look so refreshed after, but I do realize also that's probably because I've been conditioned to think. Think about 100 years from now. It's 2124. No one will know who you are. All the things that you worked so hard for, somebody else is going to be living in your house. The pictures of you are gone. Nobody cares anymore. It's 100 years ago. So what are you doing worrying about? I never had an eating disorder. I always had disordered eating. Do you think there's a difference? What? Yes. I feel you're more beautiful IRL. I mean, as a compliment, because most people are like, you know, it's like, yeah, no, seriously. I'm so hard on myself. I know. It's what's actually crazy is I've gotten to a place where I speak really highly about myself in the mirror, even if I don't believe it, I'll say it. And then I'll see it on my camera, and I'm like, what? That's not what I see in the mirror. Like, I'm like, who's lying to me? The mirror or the camera? It's been like a really big effort on my part to speak to myself kindly in the mirror. And then I will I talk openly about anxiety, and then I'll cry, and people think I'm doing things for attention all the time, but really I'm just truly trying to show up as my real self on social media. And I just think when somebody is living their authentic life in a public eye, I feel like it triggers people. And I think a lot of people feel entitled to my life because I share so much. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword where I'm like, I want to share everything because I love it, and I feel like it's good to show up of the good, bad, and ugly on social media. But I feel like that does open up the doors for more people to have criticism because they're like, well, you share everything with us, so I know everything about you. Yeah. I think that always blows my mind when people think they know someone through their social media, even if there's accounts like yours or mine where we are being candid and we're posting on the ugly days. That's still a highlight reel of the ugly day. In a way. We had to think about the caption and figure out the post.
I've seen better. She's not that bad. She's better when she's with someone than by herself. Anyway, have a good one. Bye.
One is the most misunderstood. I think people think I'm a bad